The idea of establishing Hemda, the Science Education Center, came about in 1986, and since then, for the last 16, 17 years, some of the best young minds of the city of Tel Aviv are taking all their physics and some of the chemistry studies in the center of Hemda. It was clear to us that such an experiment has to be done in a major city in Israel. The choice was easy. The then mayor of Tel Aviv and the Tel Aviv Foundation were immediate supporters. We got support from other foundations, especially the Rothschild Foundation, who put up the building. But this was possible only because the city of Tel Aviv, through its municipality and its mayor, and the Tel Aviv Foundation, took upon themselves to provide the operating budget of the school forever and ever. We live in the age of science and technology, and the most important economic resource today in the world is knowledge, and particularly scientific and technological knowledge. If you think that knowledge is an important economic commodity, you immediately reach the conclusion that education is the best investment. But the heart of the matter is science education. And science education is problematic in many, many different countries, including Israel. Teachers are difficult to hire. Excellent scientists are running to the high-tech industry, to research institutions. They are not going to teach in high schools. Teachers' salaries all around the world are limited. Lab equipment is expensive. One problem that the city of Tel Aviv found to combat the difficulties in science education for high schools is to establish a science teaching center, Hemda. Because if you need one expensive piece of equipment that every school class needs once a year, a school will never be able to afford it, even if it is the richest school. But if you have to buy this particular piece of equipment once for the entire city of Tel Aviv, then per student, it's a very good investment. It's a very cheap enterprise. This kind of an operation allows also to create for the kids enormous number of different fringe benefits. They can get private tutoring in the afternoon free of charge. They can have the opportunity of communicating with the teacher through the internet or through email or even at personal conversation out of school periods. They have the opportunity of enjoying some specialist teacher teaching one topic if their usual teacher is not such a great expert in that particular topic. We have an outstanding staff of teachers led by an outstanding director, and the idea that we have 15 or 20 physics teachers that are living together for 8 hours a day and communicating with each other and sharing their experiences with each other and learning from each other is an enormous advantage for such an institution. What we want to do with the students are two different things. One is to teach them professionally everything they need to know to pass the exams, to be prepared for college, or whatever it is that they choose to do with their scientific education. But the other thing which we are trying to introduce into the hearts and minds of these kids is the excitement of science.
Hemda is a place that fulfills my hunger to knowledge and science. This is the place that truly provides me that challenge that I seek for in my everyday life.
When I came to Hemda, I discovered an entirely new world, that's physics. I immediately became fascinated with this new area, and I started even viewing my everyday life with new eyes.
The end result is to create a nucleus of outstanding people which are serving the Israeli economy and the society in more than one way.
I want to be an influencing man in the sphere of science and high tech. I want to develop and contribute to my country in this sphere, and I think that knowledge is the best way to develop a country and its economy and state as general. As cliché as it may sound, I think people like me with ambitions that are similar to mine are the future of the state of Israel.
In July, I'm joining the army. I was accepted into an intelligence unit thanks to my knowledge in physics, and I'm very proud to be an Israeli.
There's always the extra little bit which makes a good place into an excellent place. And that can be only provided by the Tel Aviv Foundation and by private funds that are raised by the Tel Aviv Foundation. The Science Education Center in Tel Aviv, Hemda, has been extremely lucky to have the support of the city and the foundation. And between the two of them and the excellent staff, we can really reach any levels that we wish to reach.